Hey, Scott Himelstein with the Scott Himelstein Group. Welcome back to another edition of our video blog. Today we have the pleasure of being joined by Zachary Schneiderman of Schneiderman Insurance Agency. And in light of some of the recent natural disasters here in Southern California, we thought it would be a good idea to talk with Zachary about some of the things that you should be discussing with your insurance agent. All right, so again, Scott Himelstein here. Again, we're joined by Zachary Schneiderman of Schneiderman Insurance Agency. All right, so Zachary, wanted to talk to you today, again, in light of some of the recent natural disasters here in Southern California. You know, how important it is to talk with your insurance agent, you know, especially about how much coverage you might have in case you do have a disaster.
Absolutely. So what we've found from doing reviews or people calling us looking for an insurance quote, a lot of people always say, just match my current coverage. Well, the problem is that the current coverage isn't always correct. Some are underinsured, some are overinsured. But what we found is a lot of people don't know how much insurance they really need to rebuild their home. And the purpose of having a homeowner's insurance policy is really built off of the idea that if something was to happen, how could we replace your home as it was and put you back to normal? So over the years, people have made improvements to them, whether they've added square footage or redone a kitchen or a bathroom. And all of these changes change the value of what it would cost to rebuild your home. What we want to do is make sure that we have the accurate numbers and those are reflected. So it's never a bad time to call your agent and just ask them to do a review, make sure that they run a new cost estimation on the home, and verify that you have the right amount of coverage.
Right, and kind of going within that same line is the second point is I always feel, and especially, you know, we've dealt with clients who've actually had been displaced because of natural disasters and whatnot, is the loss of use because of how long it actually takes to rebuild a home.
Absolutely. So depending on the size of the loss, you could be out of your home longer than expected. And while it doesn't seem like it would take that long to rebuild a home or put fresh drywall on, you know, by the time you go through plans, permits, the whole process of adjusting, I usually tell people on a large loss, you're probably looking at 18 months to 24 months. And the problem is a lot of other insurance carriers out there are really only offering a 12-month loss of use coverage. It's not enough if you're going to move your whole family, put them up somewhere else. You might find out that you're staying in a motel or hotel that's not the quality that you're looking for. You can't get the home that you can rent for a year or two of the size and nature that you need. So what happens is people are having to pay out of pocket. And when you do have a loss, you're still paying the mortgage on your home. That's not changing. Well, what the insurance company's paying for is the additional expenses that you would not normally incur.
Right, and so, you know, finally, you know, so many of the homes here in the San Fernando Valley in Southern California are old. We're talking 20, 30, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, even 80s, you know, and the building codes have changed, and that affects your insurance policy when you have to rebuild. Absolutely.
So a standard homeowner's insurance, the dwelling coverage, which is usually seen as a coverage A on the policy, it's normally meant to rebuild the home in the manner that it was built. So when you have to do code upgrades, if you don't have a policy with code upgrade coverage or you don't have sufficient code upgrade coverage, you're probably going to be paying out of pocket to make those changes. And I mean, there's some new codes that are coming out depending on where you live. You know, in LA, you got to have like the seismic gas shutoff valve. But the things that are starting to come about and we're finding are the kind of lighting that you put in your home needs to be sometimes upgraded, where you have to put compact fluorescent lights. Electrical is different. Big one that we're starting to see is requirements for fire sprinklers in the home. Right. And the cost of doing that's a substantial difference. There's also that water runoff items. So all of these new code upgrade changes that are coming about, it's going to cost more than expected, and it's going to cost more than it was to rebuild your home with the structure that was there previously. We want to make sure that we have coverage there sufficient to get by without the owner paying more than their deductible was in the first place, so they don't have any out-of-pocket expenses that were unexpected.
Right, so if you have any insurance questions or you'd like to have your policy reviewed by Zachary and his team, Zachary's information is down below. If you have any real estate questions, you can call us at the Scott Himelstein Group, 818-396-3311. That's 818-396-3311. And thanks again for watching our video blog.